matter what people want you to believe, don't ever turn back.
Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Alana here. Welcome back to 3 Degrees of Love Divination. As always, I am Love. And if you're new, just joining me to my channel, welcome. I am a social worker and I do love to read tarot. And so mental health is something that I hold near and dear, as an advocate, mental health, and so on and so forth. I am a Virgo sun, and so, there's that urge and need to be that, that serving my community and, always looking out for the greater good. And anyways, just even, last month, well, as I'm recording this, it's in the wee hours of the morning and it's October 1st, 2024. So we've officially moved into fall. I believe tomorrow, being October 2nd, is also the new moon in Libra, all about balance and harmony, and right. Also, Libra is my rising sign for those of you who are into astrology and things like that. Anyways, so of course my birthday was last month, and I felt like this sort of calling, if you will, to sort of do something slightly different, but not so different, still relatively along the lines and what I've always been hoping to achieve with my channel, and also even as I started this series, therapy and tarot, and so combining both aspects of that, and also with the hopes of breaking the stigma of it all. Even the idea of mental health and the stigma that it carries, that if you are struggling with your mental health, then something is really wrong with you. When right now we're in a global mental health crisis and everybody is suffering to some degree, and really trying to uncover why that is. Why at the tip of a karmic year is the world globally in such bad shape, and how we can eradicate that by addressing some of these issues that have been plaguing us for so long, that even up until now has sort of carried, yes, this dark stigma, right? Even looking in the idea of reading tarot and divination and the bad rap that it's gotten, and just the whole dogmatic thing with religion and the divide between it all. Spirituality is spirituality, and it's all about the will and the intent of each individual. It's about the connection that you have with divine consciousness, and to really understand and dig through that, you have to do the internal work. So, and of course, to me, when you're really doing it properly and efficiently, and you're doing that deep dive, you're doing that shadow work, you're ciphering through your past history, the good and the bad, the traumas, and the ways of being that put you in the perpetrator form of light. When you now become the traumatic experience in someone else's story. And that takes place from not only the individual, but even into the outer realms, from race to culture to sexuality to everything, and how we interact with one another. Doing that deep dive in that shadow work. The shadow work goes both ways. It's not just about the trauma that you've endured, but in the ways that you have traumatically caused someone else to endure as well. And by healing that line, you now begin to purify that connection with spirit. Okay. Anyhow, with all that being said, and also, now, as I said, we're officially October 1st. In about 9 days, we are running into Global Mental Health Day, which is on October the 10th, 2024, this year. Well, every year, actually, but this year, I don't even have a calendar in front of me right now. When I find the date, I'll tell you what date is specifically it is. But anyways, 9 days from now, you can do the math. We all can. I'm just not going to try to do that now while I'm trying to talk to you. So, anyhow, make of that what you will. I talk about the fact that I'm a karmic cycle breaker, and the 10th is very significant in many ways for me personally, and even as I've been doing this deep dive into understanding numerology and tarot and, the idea of cycles. Okay? And so it's funny because the cards that I have laid out that I've started reading with, and some of the messages that I've been able to pick up from the way that the cards have spoken to each other, and even with the messages in the guidebook. And so actually, I'll tell you, so I have a thing too, that I realize a connection with music and, and stuff. And when reading my cards, even when I'm, meditating and listening to binaural beats and burning my incense and clearing my space and energy and stuff and all of that, I like to listen to music, as I said. And two songs that really sort of rang the bell for me while I was starting this reading here, and for myself and the collective here. And the two songs that came up were, and of course I love both of these songs, and I love both of the artists, one being more new school, one being more old school. Well, old school as in I grew up and I can recall moments of me listening and singing the song in, back in the day, when I was like 12, and I remember that. Anyways, so the first song is Drag Me Down, by One Direction. So take that message in and of itself. The fact that it's the artist, the group is called One Direction, and the song is called Drag Me Down. And then the second one by old school Tevin Campbell, the song is Can We Talk? So make of that what you will. If you choose to listen to the song, and you know, whatever messages that come up for you, by all means, if you feel comfortable enough to share, this is supposed to be a safe space. I am love, so everything here is about love, compassion, respect, kindness, everything with the utmost integrity, and and the understanding and will intent of that. And of course, that with that being said, anything that goes against that in my space is not welcome. But anything on the other side of that in regards to feedback, love, support, learning, and opposing idea that is delivered with respect, it's all welcome. So, with that being said, so actually I wanted to show you the cards that, well, some of you have already seen. I've already talked it in previous videos. Still working with the Spirit Animal Oracle by Colette Baron-Reid, both the regular version, both by Hay House, and of course the newest one in a tin. And then also, I've been loving working with the Forest Magic Oracle. This is by Nikki Vandekar, illustrated by Ellen Manon. And so for those of you that identify, it's a deck and guidebook for green witches. I love the messages in the guidebook. I love the cards, and I have a thing too for plants and flowers, and so decks that have that I love, and particularly so and like I think I've mentioned before. Excuse me, and the way that I read, it's usually a four card spread, and then I layer with multiple decks, and that's how I build onto what my readings are. So from in the line here where you're seeing tranquility, the cards that came out were 22 from the Spirit Animal Oracle, which I believe is the Dragonfly, but let me just double check. Yes, it's Dragonfly Spirit. And the theme is truth transcends illusion. Okay? And so I'll read the caption on this here, and this is another part of what has stood out for me here. And so 22, Dragonfly Spirit, truth transcends illusion. Oracle message: Dragonfly Spirit is here to remind you of the wisdom and truth available at all times in the hidden realms. Just as a dragonfly catches your eye with its reflective wings and body, Dragonfly Spirit appears to tell you to pay attention to the truth beyond the illusion and recognize the insights that come seemingly out of nowhere. Peeking through from behind the veil, in the realm of spirit, there is far more wisdom than you can perceive with your senses. And there is a deep knowing that you are not separate or alone. For a higher power recognizes you and loves you beyond measure. Fears dissipate as you realize you are embraced by the nurturing force that is everywhere, always in communication with you. Alighting when you are preoccupied, Dragonfly Spirit offers this message. You exist in unity with all, including the protective spirits who share their wisdom, and you are being nudged along the path your soul needs to travel to have the experiences it craves. Love exists in many forms, and sometimes we overlook it when we don't recognize a particular form. Pay attention to the signs now that remind you that each of us have inspired dreams seamlessly sewn into the fabric of the invisible world. And there is a great consciousness that exists in the seemingly empty spaces, guiding us on our journey, open to the truth, letting the wisdom of the hidden realms inform you, providing insights your conscious mind overlooks. And protection message, if this applies when you reflect for yourself, protection message. Did you really think this world of the senses is all there is? From the hidden mystical realms, signs are being sent to you, but perhaps you have perceived separation and convinced yourself that you are on your own. Have you fallen into spiritual amnesia and forgotten your connection to a living, loving, always supportive universe? If so, rub the sleep out of your eyes, for Dragonfly Spirit is here to remind you of all the love and support available to you in every moment. There is an organizing principle underlying the events you have experienced, and Dragonfly Spirit can help you see it and trust that Spirit has your back. Let go of the illusion of chaos and randomness. Love is here, so follow the signs that appear serendipitously as you pay attention to the magic all around you. You will know you are on the right track. All right. So that was Dragonfly Spirit. Now, the card that came up for on top of the 22 was, yes, okay. Mandrake. Actually, and I think it was around this time that I was really picking up on Drag Me Down by One Direction. Anyways, so Mandrake, Mandragora, with alternative names like Herb of Circus, or Circe, sorcerer's root, and witch's mannequin, mandrake has a reputation for being an evil plant. But there is no such thing. Just as magic is simply a force, plants, poisonous or otherwise, are simply themselves. Mandrake is ideal for both creativity and protection magic, and it can increase the potency of any spell. Legends say that mandrakes are actually small creatures and can be fun to work with them, as if this is, in fact, the case. After asking permission, carefully pull up the mandrake as you would a carrot, dislodging it from the earth. Bring it inside and cut off the leaves, then scrub it clean under running water. When it dries, give it a place on your altar for a time, leaving it simple offerings of coins or found objects. It will work its magic for you. So, my interpretation too with that message, on top of the dragonfly spirit, the understanding that truth transcends illusion. And the one thing that keeps ringing up for me with that is, again, when I talk about stigma, the stigma that mental health holds for the majority of people. And that has for a long time. The stigma that the divide in spirituality, the dogmatic religions, all of that, the stigma that reading tarot holds, especially with those coming from the dogmatic religions and the negativity. But there's also the flip side when it, and of course I'm speaking from my experience and my knowledge, being raised as a Christian. And some of the friction that still goes on, and the upturned noses when you are partaking, reading tarot without any sort of understanding. And I don't mean the person who is reading the tarot, I mean the people perceiving the person reading the tarot, that you're engaging in something that's evil. Is it though? Is it? If you really bring it down to the nitty-gritty. For even example, my video right now. The work that I'm doing with tarot for introspection, combining that with the work that I do personally with my regular therapy sessions. And I will always be an advocate and someone who will always recommend professional guidance above all else. Everything else to me works in collaboration to complete the whole of the healing journey that is needed for each individual. What that looks like per person will vary. You have to find what works best for you. But the benefit of combining both the spiritual work with the professional therapeutic sessions on my healing journey, I couldn't have asked for better support where that is concerned. And so it's now breaking that stigma, right? Anything that so the analogy for this, what I'm basically trying to get at when it comes to tarot cards, when it comes to anything that's, sort of got that sort of religious factor. So thinking of like the Bible, for example, and the status that the Bible, the Quran, what the has, and the variations to, I feel like I've heard it all, and the ignorance that it keeps being upheld, so tarot cards is seen as evil, but the Bible isn't, because it's the word of God. It's apparently the word of God. Okay, well, we can really chop that down and really, and that would be just a whole video topic all on itself, which I'm not, this is not really what I wanted here. So I'm not really going to go down that rabbit hole, but the analogy that I have for that is that those things are both made out of the same material. Paper, ink, and as you can see, we have a book, we have images, we have words. And the Bible wasn't even first written in English anyways. So everything is up to interpretation. That's why you go within. That's why the connection to the divine is an individual journey. Anyways, again, topic for another time. But a knife is just a knife. Just like the cards and the Bible are just a book and cards with words and pictures. And it's the will of the user. A knife only becomes a weapon when it is wielded as such. Otherwise, it is just a useful tool that is sharp and can cut. Yeah? Okay. So that's where, it's it's to me the message I'm picking up from Mandrake and truth transcending illusion. Okay? Right. All right. So I'm still having rotation the Playful Heart Tarot, and that's the one by Kitten Chops, and the one that I've been using is the one that is that was edged. I did talk about that in previous videos. After today, my plan is to put that one away. It's time for the Playful Heart to say bye-bye for another time. As I'm trying to sort of rotate some decks out and have recently been rotating decks in. So yeah, what I have from the Playful Heart is the Hermit card, and to me that's that representation of going within, right? That taking that time in solitude to shed the light on your own darkness. And, we have, on top of that, we have the King of Wands. And then that's from the Bumbleberry Hollows Tarot. And, so really taking that deep dive and really getting to really get in tune with your emotions, your passions, what fuels you, right? And what fuels your various emotions, your triggers, right? And then from the Mind's Eye Tarot by Olivia Rose, and I think I've showed that deck, and you'll see it again in some future videos that I have planned. But we have 19, the Sun. Now this actually came out in reverse, but of course I prefer, my OCD prefers the order here, so I don't know. So it stays upright, but Tranquility. And so to me, it's understanding the parts that have taken away from, that have lowered our vibrations, if you will, that have taken the joy out of being. And the choices that we've made as a result, and how those choices have also affected our path forward. How we are, at present as a person. Tranquility, from What Would Love Do deck, by Starladen. I've showed this deck before. Here's the box. The guidebook, which is a very chunky one here. And we have Tranquility. Tranquility is when we feel in harmony with nature, our lives, and our truth. So we started with truth transcending illusion. And the idea of tranquility is when we feel in harmony with nature, our lives, and our truth. We are love. That's the truth that I've come to discover. And for myself, of myself. But remembering that I'm also human, and the people and everyone else that I interact with or have interacted with are human too. So, but the card I really wanted to read, because there was something that stood out. Now this is about, so on the last card here, from the Colette Baron-Reid, was the Turkey Spirit, and I drew, and funny enough, as we begin October, especially here in Canada, our Thanksgiving is coming up real fast, is also in October. And give with gratitude and grace. That's the theme of this card here, 61. Now, without making this video too long, because there's a whole bunch of other stuff I wanted to sort of get through in this video, I won't read the book, the guidebook on that one. But if you have the deck, you're more than welcome, to read the entry on the guidebook for yourself. But I wanted to read Ambition from from the What Would Love Do? And so ambition, which is card number 4. I don't know if you can see that, probably with the glare. It is a linen card stock, but I do, because of the light, I don't know. Anyways, ambition. Ambition empowers us with the desire and determination to achieve success on our own terms. Okay. So let me read that card here for you. We have ambition. Okay. Ambition empowers us with the desire and determination to achieve success on our own terms. What are you striving for in life? What is driving you? Ambition is your desire channeled into the determination to succeed. You want calm and peace of mind. You want to build a thriving business. You want to climb mountains. You want to raise successful children. You sit in ambition each time you allow desires into your life. Ambition is having good intentions and the clarity to act wisely in the moment. Ambition is the gas in the car. Be disciplined with your intention for your ambition, and then be wise with what you pursue and how you pursue it. Okay. Okay. It's not just ambitious to want a bigger house, a better car, or a fatter paycheck. It is also ambitious to want a happy, peace-filled heart, or to want to create habits that generate happiness in yourself and others. Be ambitious to achieve the best version of yourself. Fuel your ambition wisely by investing time, energy, and resources for your higher learning. Use your ambition and determination to become wise and not simply knowledgeable about specific topics. Embody ambition to propel goodness forward into the world. And then so we have ambition as the antidote. Ambition is the antidote to aimlessness, laziness, idleness, futility, procrastination, complacency, pretentiousness, apathy, inertia, sluggishness, inactivity, neglectfulness, and passivity. And then we have What Would Love Do? Practice with your thoughts. What would ambition do? What am I willing to do? No, I can, I do, I will. Contemplate. What's my next small step? Practice with your words. Speak of your desires to others of like mind. Share your desire to grow and learn. Write a bucket list. Practice with your deeds. Be in spontaneous, positive, or helpful action in the moment. Be the person who is eager to be kind and act accordingly for all people, regardless of race, creed, color, gender, or sexuality. Support others in achieving their ambitions. Dedication. I dedicate infinite ambition to all who struggle to move forward. May we be free from inertia. May we be happy in our journey. Affirmations. Ambition empowers me with the desire and determination to achieve success on my own terms. I am ambitious to achieve the best version of myself. I use my great ambition and determination to move beyond knowledge and into wisdom. And so it is. So, yeah. And so that kind of fell off of the, or on top of the King of Wands from the Mind's Eye Tarot, and the Five of Wands from the Bumblebee Hollows Tarot, and the Three of Cups from the Playful Heart Tarot. And from the Forest Magic Oracle, the card was the Marigold card. And basically that card is basically about, you know, sort of, yes, connecting with yourself, with your ancestors, you know, really attuning to your dreams, both sleep and wake. So yeah, and so now the deck that I am looking to start working with now and moving forward into the fall, and also, like I said, with October 10th being Global Mental Health Day, and just how the synchronicities for how this deck came into my life, you know, from, you know, the wonderful people who created it, and what they are continuing to create. And I did do an unboxing for this deck, and of course I am talking about no other than the beloved Wisdom of the Pooh Tarot. So I want to just pull from this. I will read the keyword cards, not from the bigger guidebook. I do still have the PDF. I wanted the big version of the book, but still haven't been able to get my hands on that yet. I still do believe it's in pre-order mode as well. I don't even think it's been released yet. But this is the beloved deck, you know, by Ruin Vervain, that was lovingly gifted to me by Serafina, and actually also created the same creators as the Earth, Moon, and Shadow Oracle, which is a great, fantastic deck, which I will later be bringing out this season. Yes. And it's fantastic for shadow work. I do believe they're reprinting it to be released soon as well. And then, of course, we have the second edition of the Wisdom of Pooh Tarot and Tigger 2. The Kickstarter, it was a successful campaign. And I know that is in the works. They just came from the oh my gosh, the Northwest Terror Symposium. Okay, I just totally blanked out, and I was just gonna call the Portland Convention. That's what I think I was about to call it. But anyways, yeah, and I absolutely love them very, very much. And just to me, actually, what's also fitting here, and I think I may have talked about this in my unboxing video. I don't quite remember, but you can always check that out. But one thing that I absolutely loved that was included with every copy of this deck, that was just a very heartwarming personal touch that was included by the creators. And what really, anyways, because of the type of person I am, because of who I am, and the values that I have, it just really irked me because, you know, in the tarot community, I see and observe so many unhealed people practicing tarot too. And anyway, that's a whole nother, neither here nor there for this right now. But anyways, and just the backlash because they chose to personalize it. It's their deck that they created. And we as the users and the supporters, it's an honor to be able to partake in the vision of brilliant minds. And so in that, when they want to put themselves in it, there should be no qualms about it. And if there is, that's a personal thing. Yeah, there's we understand that there's, yes, we all have the freedom to express ourselves. We have, right? This is their deck that they're creating. We also have the right to, a freedom of speech. But when we're doing things with love and at the highest frequency, with the highest integrity for self and others, we're not bashing people for what personally they are bringing to the table. We're appreciating them and their work. That's the honor to me amongst humanity that seems to be lost, quite frankly, in so many ways. And that's why this work to me is important. Shadow work, healing work, all of it is important. Breaking the stigma is important. Breaking the stigma about the truth of what love actually is important. Now more than ever, as we're moving into the age of Aquarius, it's time to break these stigmas and take off the ignorance glasses that most wear. Really do that introspection and deep dive of self. Woo, it starts with self. Anyways, so they included a certificate of authenticity. Of course, this one, which is the standard edition, I have 1297 out of 4,000. And so they included a blessing from Seraphina, and I love it. May an abundance of joy and nostalgia be bestowed upon the owner of this deck. Let the wisdom of Pooh serve as your trusted companion through the twists and turns in the path that lies ahead, and hold your hand through the scary parts. And then we have a warning for the wicked. It's a karmic year, people. Anyways, okay. And then on the flip side, we have a prayer. And this is from Angela, the other half to Ruin Vervain and the creator of this. And so to include their own individual personal touch, spiritually speaking, this was created, and the backlash that just It's their personal touch. You don't have to like it. You don't even have to keep it. But why you gotta run your mouth about it and your disdain? That just brings the whole frequency of the collective down. How are we not getting that? I think this is absolutely beautiful. I think it's loving. Okay. I digress. Anywho, so pulling from this, what did I do with? Let's see, what do we get from Wisdom of the Pooh? Oh, I love the way this shuffles. Yes, it is linen, but it's like a soft, matted linen. Not like the linen on the, which is more of a shiny linen, on the What Would Love Do, or even the Mind's Eye Tarot. Both of those are more of a shiny-ish linen, where this is very matte. And so it's not that typical linen where I feel like where the Playful Heart Tarot even comes in. All of those are like that slippery linen that when you go to shuffle it, if your hands are not, that sharp, you're pretty much probably gonna, and you're doing the riffle and bridge shuffling as well. I see that's where you could risk very much, playing 78 pickup or 80 pickup, depending on the tarot deck and how many cards is included in it. But standardly, it would be 78, of course, right? Anyways, but the way this shuffles, no, there's not really room for slippity-slidey because it's not shiny. It's matte. And it's a very smooth, matte finish. I do believe that the Wisdom of Pooh 2nd edition and Tigger 2 is the same cardstock, I do believe. Yeah, so look out for that. I do believe pre-orders for that now is even available since the Kickstarter is done. But of course they're not shipping yet. And they won't be shipping until after they've fulfilled the Kickstarter orders, of course. Also on my channel, I should say, as I was talking earlier about the Earth, Moon, and Shadow Oracle, I still do have the potential for the giveaway that would kick off once I reach 200 subscribers. So it is the 1st edition copy that I have for the giveaway. So, if you are wanting to grab, the 1st edition of the Earth, Moon, and Shadow, definitely, by all means, please, hit like, share, and subscribe. Hit the notification bell so you'll always be alert when I update and put up my next video. Yeah, there's that is a giveaway that I look to that would be triggered once I hit 200 subscribers. And then I will be looking to do a draw for it. So, yes. Details regarding that is linked in the description box, as would be any recommendations, all the decks that I've shown that are featured, that I talked about, will be down there below too. So, with all that being said, here we go. Let's see what Wisdom of the Pooh has for us today. Oh, the collective. Oh, okay. We have... All right. So, first card out, Bravery, which in this deck, in the Wisdom of the Pooh, is Major Arcana 23. So there are is it 23 or 24? I can't quite remember how many majors is in the Wisdom of the Pooh, but I will always add that into the description, or story, in editing. Okay. And so with that, bravery coming out there at the beginning with intuition, I feel like that's really too about, the being brave to take that step in uncovering the truth within self. Doing that deep dive, committing to doing the healing work and the introspection, therapy, all of it, right? Really committing to it fully, the greatest and highest good of self as well as others. All of humanity here, in this case. So, okay, so next we have the Knight of Honeypots. So this would be the Knight of Cups. In other words, so, tranquility, really, taking the reins and understanding our emotions. Doing the introspective work. Diving in. Charging through, if you will. Okay. Oh, all right. And perfect. So we have Ace of Cups, beauty. Seeing the beauty in the pain, seeing the beauty and the lessons learned, right? So that karmic justice can be served for self and others, to restore the beauty within all of us. And then we have the Moon, 18. Our intent. Again, on top of 61. So that being 61 from the Spirit Animal Oracle by Colette Baron-Reid. That one, again, if you remember, and you can always, by all means, fast forward, rewind, do what you got to do. But that one was giving gratitude and grace, right? Give with gratitude and grace. That was the card. Yeah. So, and then underneath the bottom of the deck here, we have Pure Joy, which is card 22 here. And then we have 22 right on the Dragonfly card, again from the Oracle deck. So yeah, I wanted to, let's see, how far am I? Okay, I think I'm okay for timing here. Just to, I wanted to, So another thing that I'm hoping to start doing more of. So anyways, if you recall in my previous video I did with Drea Bloom, creator of the Shadow Work journal, and it was lovely to meet her, and very inspiring because of the work and as a psychotherapist that they are, and what they've accomplished to date. Dre is a part of the LGBTQ community, and created the Tarot Activity book, which is published under Andy Matzner. And so there was, as I was going through, there were two, because this is, as I mentioned, this is therapy and tarot, right? So there were two activities from in this deck that I wanted to share with you and give you as a form of reflection as well. And of course, this is for you to take away from the video, share, if you were able to do the activity, how that was for you. Of course, that is extra that you can either combine with the readings, the cards that I've shared with you, and even, you going through your own deck if you have, if you're a lover of tarot, like I am. But of course, take everything with a grain of salt. The messages as they, speak to you. It's a collective reading, so not everything may resonate or fit for you. Take what does and leave the rest for whoever else needs to hear that. But also always remember that as a mental health advocate, I first and foremost will always recommend seeking professional help. Mental health and mental illness and addictions and all of those things are no joke. So, you need to take care of yourself as well as those around you, because those really can be very life impacting. Anyways, so with that being said, healing symbol, that's the first here activity. So the objective is to heal an old wound. So here's the synopsis from the book. Sometimes when a negative thing happens to us, we end up being unable to heal from the hurt that we experienced. Instead of being resolved, our wound festers. We continue to feel distress. The pain might recede to a dull ache or flare up on occasion. But it is there nonetheless. Just because we get used to it doesn't mean it is resolved. If you have been living with this kind of pain, it is never too late to seek healing. I believe we generally understand on an intuitive level what we need So I stopped to do that. I just lost my train of thought or where I was. Okay. I believe we generally understand on an intuitive level that we need what we need in order to heal. For you, the key will be focusing your attention on your wound and then being honest with yourself about what you know in your heart that will bring you to a place of resolution and peace. Of course, the journey to healing and wholeness can be challenging. This is why it is important to have a meaningful symbol as your guide and inspiration. So, through the process, think about how you have been hurt in the past, either by a person or a situation. This doesn't have to necessarily be a trauma, but simply anything that still carries a negative charge for you when you think about it. Write a description of what happened in your journal and why it created a wound. What does that wound look like, feel like? Next, write about the consequences of having that wound. How has it affected your life? Finally, consider what it would take for you to heal that wound and leave those negative feelings behind. What would you need either from yourself or from the world around you? What would have to happen for you to move forward? This exercise doesn't have to be about forgetting what happened. Scars can be powerful reminders of the past that are meant to carry meaning forever. The key is to stop the bleeding and allow a scab to form so that the scar is possible. Now, go through your tarot deck and choose a card that represents what it is you believe you need in order to heal your wound. In your journal, describe what it is about this card that made you choose it. What is it in particular that makes your card a healing symbol? Then write about how you will use its imagery and message to heal. How will its presence lead to relief? Finally, decide how you will incorporate the card into your life. Will you carry it with you? Put it in your shrine? Tape it to your mirror? Meditate on it each morning? Include it in a piece of artwork? All of that is left up to you to reflect upon. The other one and I think I will probably do that in the next video just for timing's sake. And that one was about boundaries, I believe. So, anyways, close out this video, I wanted to go ahead and talk about this book that I received lovingly from Running Press, and it was around the same time frame that Wisdom of the Pooh Tarot came out, that I received it for review, and from the loving Rune Vervain, and so it just seemed so fitting with everything, because again, the theme of my channel being mental health, or the story of Winnie-the-Pooh and all the characters. And of course, I did talk about this, and I read an article, a psychology actually sort of based story review article, and along when I was doing the review of the deck. So it's definitely there. You can check it out too on my channel. It will definitely be linked in the description box. But this is Oh Bother. Winnie-the-Pooh is befuddled too. It's a smackerel-sized parody of modern life. And again, just it's all about the way it's written, all about the everyday ups and downs that we experience, you know, metaphorically speaking, and how the whole story of Winnie-the-Pooh, pretty much highlights that. You know, in that really tickling your inner child sort of way, you know. So I wanted to just read. Actually, you know what? I think so here at the beginning of the book, we have, of course, 100-acre wood map, just like the Wisdom of the Pooh tarot. The big box folds out, does have the map, but even the box of the deck has the map, but on a smaller scale. So we have that again here in this book, which is by Jennie Egerdie and illustrated by Ellie Hadjo. I hope I am pronouncing that correctly. And of course, so we have a game, how to play Pooh Sticks. And then we have an author's note, and I think this is really cute. To my brave friend Piglet, or Molly as she is known. And I'll just read the author's note here. I don't know what's going to happen in the future, but I know what I'll do tonight. Lie on my couch, stare at the ceiling, and worry about everything that's out of my control. What if my mom gets sick? What if rising sea levels swallow my apartment? What if I'm maimed by a falling pile of space garbage and my insurance doesn't cover it? Just when I'm about to throw up with panic, I remember a chubby little buddy who lives completely in the moment. I take a deep breath and ask myself, what would Pooh do? It's been 100 years since A.A. Maline's Winnie-the-Pooh was first published, filling our hearts with sweet adventures and funny misunderstandings. Yet even in that idyllic childhood setting, Maline's 100-acre wood was never perfect. Bears were stuck, tails got lost, and homes flooded with rain. Sounds a lot like what present moment in real life right now, with the homes flooded with rain. To all of those who are going through that hardship, I send my love to you. Despite all this chaos, stories ended happily because the characters looked out for each other. The world has changed since we first met Pooh. Our challenges are different, but the need for friendship remains the same. I need my community, just as Pooh needs Piglet's deep kindness, Rabbit's sharp practicality, Owl's well-intentioned wisdom, Tigger's exuberance, Eeyore's righteous melancholy, and the warmth of Kanga and Roo. These days, we're all a little lost in the 100-acre woods. But with help from Pooh and Piglet, we can make it home together. And I absolutely love that. And I just feel like that's what this whole theme, this love, the world, us, the story of Winnie the Pooh divination, religion, it all. In this incarnation, we're blessed to have humanity, to have the opportunity to live as we are. But how we're doing it and how that affects the whole is determined by how we operate as individuals. Are we doing it just for our individual selfish self? Or are we recognizing that everything we do has a rippling effect to our bodies and to all other bodies that we come into contact with in this world? And ultimately, our planet, Mother Gaia, she's our very first mother. Many seem to forget about that along the way. And when we think about all the tragedies that are going on in our world today, are we just complaining, or are we taking ownership for our part in it? And how the choices we make affect the greater whole. So we have many different short stories within this book, in which Pooh feels anxious about the bees, and in which Eeyore goes to therapy, and in which Owl is very online. I mean, come on. If this correlates to just everything that I am talking about, that I stand for, anyway, so I'm gonna leave it there and leave you with this. Of course, I will have everything in the description box. Please like, share, and subscribe. I love you. As I am love, so are you. As I am human, you are too. So please take care of yourself and one another. And while you're at it, don't forget about me too. And until next time, please always live, listen, and learn. If I don't see you before Thanksgiving, my Thanksgiving here in Canada, then happy Thanksgiving to all those Canadians. And, well, Americans, we'll see you later. Always live, listen, and learn. I love you. Take care. Bye. Gotta love, gotta love, gotta love one another. Gotta love, gotta love, gotta love one another. Gotta love, gotta love, gotta love one another. No matter what